Hey guys, Chris here for Project Nerf, and today we're going to do a very special video. We're going to do a full build guide on a super Stryfe. We're going to run 180 motors, worker flywheels, heavy micro switches, heavy rewire. We're going to show you how we do all of that. Probably even put a sweet body kit on it. So with that, let's get to it. Alright guys, as you can see we've got all of the parts laid out here for our super Stryfe project, and let's take a look at that for just a second here. As you can see, we have our OJ Stryfe. Here we have an XSW full auto kit, so we're going to convert it over. This is a 3D printed 180 motor cover for our 180 motors that we're going to run on our worker flywheels up on the top. Our flywheel cage up to the top left there has been 3D printed for us by Shapeways. The design came from openflywheelproject.com. Check those guys out. Really sweet stuff there. And our body kit came from tacticalfoam.com. So we're going to get this thing apart, start modifying the internals, and get it set up with its new body kit. Alright, as you can see, we've got the Stryfe opened up and got everything gutted out here to make room for all of our new goodies. And so I'm going to get with fitting our full auto kit. I'll get right back to you. Okay, so we've got our XSW kit installed. Now, as you can see, we've cut the stock wiring harness off of it because we're going to be running a LiPo, and that switch is kind of small and insufficient for that kind of current. So we've got it hooked up to my custom-made little jumper box here, and I'm just going to turn it on so you guys can see how it goes. This is the stock motor that came with it, and it's going to be quite fast. Here we go. You ready? 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be awesome. We're going to get to doing the flywheel cage and some wiring. Okay, as you can see, we have our 180 size motors screwed into our flywheel cage here. And take just a second, because I'm sure I'll get questions about it. What size are the screws? Okay, these are metric machine screws, and their size is 2 millimeter by 0.4 millimeter. Okay, and these particular ones happen to be 4 millimeters long. Okay, if you're running a DRS cage with the silicone or rubber isolators that he includes, you might have to go to a little bit longer one. These are readily available. I bought these. See if I can get them in frame here for you. At boltdepot.com. I bought a packet of 100 of them. They're less than $10, and I use them all the time for these type of builds. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this cage in here and get it wired up. Okay. I've actually gone a little farther than I'd anticipated here. We've finished up all our wiring, and the reason you can't really see it in there is it's nice and clean. That's a good thing. You can see we've got our big 16 amp micro switch in here, and this is a 10 amp micro switch going to the pusher. And since you can't see the wiring, what I've done is I've made you up a very simple diagram of what I did. There's no technical terminology or anything like that on here. And it looks like that's showing up pretty good. Okay, I didn't have a red marker, thought I had a red marker. Anyway, for the sake of this, everything highlighted in yellow is going to be our positive wires, whatever color you happen to be using, in our case, red. So, very simple wiring. What we've done from the front of our flywheel cage here, our negative posts, a single wire runs back, hits the negative motor terminal on our pusher mechanism, and runs straight out to the negative post on the battery clip. Okay, our positive lead from the battery runs down to the normally open, and I'll explain that in just a minute, on our big micro switch. 2 wires run off of our common. A short one up to the common on our small micro switch. The other one runs up to the positive on our flywheels. Our last wire runs from the normally open position on the small micro switch up to the positive on our pusher mechanism. Now, the reason I wired it this way, with the normally open and the common reversed, is actually for you guys. Normally, you would run your positive to your common. However, if you do that, you can't put braking on the flywheel motors. It'll short out and burn up your wiring. So if you run it to the normally open position from your battery, okay, if you want to break your flywheel motors at this point, all you have to do is run this normally closed back to the negative on the battery. And what will happen when you release the switch, when this pops out, you're going to send a negative current up to your motors and they're going to spin down very, very fast. If you haven't seen or heard that before, check out our Project Phoenix video. That blaster has braking on the motors and you can hear how fast they wind down. Okay, so with that, we're going to slap this thing back together, guys, and I'll get you a firing demo. All right. And you can see here we've got everything all finished up. Really a decent looking body kit here. Well, I got that kind of AK-74 look, which is supposed to resemble. You can see our 180 motor cover is on here. And we've got a 1000 milliamp Turnigy 65C battery in here to power these big 180s. Makes the stock battery door bow just a little bit right here. That was kind of hard to see. But we're going to readjust the camera here and see how this thing shoots. You guys are going to get to find out as I do. Disclaimer, this could be a little loud. Looks like it works to me. Okay, and we're going to do our chrono test on our Super Stryfe build here. I would expect this to be pretty good. Maybe not stellar. It's got quite a long barrel on it, so we're going to get some drag, but we're going to fire a few over the chrono. I've got one dart loaded in several magazines, so I'm not going to put you through the agony of loading and reloading the blaster over and over again, but we'll do the first few and then I'll cut away to the results. $149. Misfire on that one. $103. $151. All right, guys, I'm going to finish up the set and I'll bring you back for the final numbers. All right, guys, we're all done the chrono testing. I had to go back and kind of start over again. I got a odd read, so I didn't want that to affect our results. But anyway, let's go over here to number. We shot 15 darts in the set. Our high off the set of 15 was 146. Our low was 131. And our average was 141 feet per second. So that is stellar performance, definitely worthy of calling a Super Stryfe. Guys, till next time, this is Chris for Project Nerf saying have a blast.